Could you tell me how can you not envy people? Because for example, some of my friend was working in he was working at a company which was bought by Facebook, so he earned a lot. So obviously, we will got envy. So could you please,
So, I asked Warren Buffett that question. I put it to him like this, and the answer will scare you. So I say, so Warren, I want to put you in these shoes. I'm a manager of yours, and I come to you, and I'm a manager of a substantial business of yours, and you rely on my performance for the success of Berkshire Hathaway. And I come to you with a confession, and I say, I'm deeply envious of a peer in my industry, and it's just eating me up. And, I know that it's going to get me to make decisions that are not good for the business, but what do I do with this envy? I'm hoping for pearls of wisdom to fall from heaven. And I say, so what would you say to him? He's like, I don't know. And I don't know where I got this from. He did talk to us about this inner scorecard idea at the launch extensively, and just so that you know it, for those of you who don't want to buy the book, which I totally understand, he says, there are many books out there, he says, would you rather be considered by the world to be the best lover in the world, but between you and your wife to know that you really suck? Or would you rather for the world to think that you're pretty bad at being a lover, but for you and your wife to know that you're the very best? And obviously, that was a distinction that I had not really fully understood and made. And it was really hard for me because I realized how much of my life I'd lived by an external scorecard. And I realized in writing the book how much of the environment that we all operate in is, so, exam results, all sorts of evaluations, those are all in a certain way, in many cases, external scorecard. And I was telling Saurabh that my children are in a Montessori school right now. I think maybe one of the big things that the Montessori school system does is it teaches you an inner scorecard. It teaches you to focus on the things that give you true joy. But I'll tell you what really does deal with envy, and this works, is that, so a really powerful idea, emotions are a call to action. So anger is an indication that your boundaries have been violated. So you need to protect your boundaries, for example. Being sad and being in pain means that you need to seek nurture and security. Envy is a signal. So the misdirection of envy is, I hate that guy. I want his life, and I don't have it. And so that's envy. The call to action is, there's something wrong in my life that I need to change. And I promise you, example, the morning I woke up next to my wife, totally in love with her, having had an extraordinary night. I was not envious of anyone. My life was really good. The days that I've spent on a windsurfer, just surfing those waves with the blue sky and strong wind, I was not envious of anyone. You could give me Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, Steven Spielberg, you name it. When you're in those moments, you're not envious. So I think that what I came away from that lunch was increased recognition of my own envy, an increased recognition of how much my life was on an external scorecard, and the absolute desire to change it. And for me, that meant leaving New York. I realized that New York wasn't a healthy place for me. So I think there is a way to deal with envy. It's ensuring that we go to bed every night happy with what we did during the day. And if we're not doing that, then we need to try really hard to get to a place where we're doing that. And once we're doing that, we won't have any envy. So thank you all for coming. I hope I